Hey gang, for those of you who enjoy QF, a podcast about Howard Stern, and would like to donate to us just via PayPal, you can, using the email address johnnythegreek21@gmail.com. You can check the link in the description for the spelling, and it's also here on the graphic. And if you'd like to do more in terms of donations or subscriptions, you can use our Patreon account and subscribe via the Black Kluge level, and you can receive our weekly content that we're putting only on Patreon. It's exclusive for that platform. And anything over $5 is just gravy, guys. We love you. Thank you so much.
Hey, why don't you rub your cock up against the phone? Let me see what kind of noise it makes.
I'm not going to do that.
Just do it. It's a big deal.
Are you gay?
Which Howard are you talking to?
The one who asked that question.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to be entertaining, that's all. I'm not gay. Am I gay? Of course not. I have a wife.
A lot of gay men have wives.
Yeah, but come on. You know me. You know I'm not gay. I'm just asking the guy how big his cock is.
Well, you're asking him to rub it up against the phone.
And all you do is mooch off of people. You do nothing. You're a big homo.
That's not entirely true.
What do you do, really?
I'm bisexual and I don't mooch off everybody.
People are going to be shocked that you put out an exercise and diet book because they don't think of you that way, right? They think about you. But here you are today with is the book out now?
Yep, Formula 50.
Is there a bunch of pictures of you with your shirt off so we can see your muscularity?
Well, no, I didn't take my shirt off.
Musculature.
We got to have an example.
I want to see your musculature.
This is not about. This is not the Chippendale show, Robin.
Are you very rich? If you took off your clothes now, you were totally nude. Would I see a man who is in the prime condition?
You have to have him totally nude.
Yeah.
Would
you mind being totally nude right now?
Yeah, I'm not taking my clothes off.
Please.
I was trying to give me a strip in here.
Please, if you don't
mind. Girls, we bring up here.
Take off your clothes. Take off your shirt. Let me see
I'm
what's
not taking my shirt off.
I want to see if you got titties or not.
Last time I watched the show, I see you had the porn stars up there.
Yeah.
And y'all had the girls in here stripping and stuff like that. I'm like, me? You want to bring me here and make me a
I want you nude right now.
You got to be kidding me, man.
Come on, man.
I'm doing way too good for this kind of shit, Howard.
Look at your ass. You're so muscular.
Do you have muscles in your ass that you'd like to show?
I'm not doing this in a gay way. I just want to see if you're fat or not. I just want to see. It's not gay.
No,
man. Each of your balls to the tip of your penis was over 9 inches.
No, right at the
9 inches.
Yeah. You making me feel good, man. Because when you watch porno, those dudes is like a foot.
9 is perfect.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe that's that's the secret. Wait, hold on, Robin. Is 9 perfect, Robin?
Perfect.
What does Howard mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean. My daughter's 15. All her friends are like consumed with who's gay and who isn't. Yeah, that's like a big thing.
That's the new thing.
Yeah, right. They think I'm gay.
Yeah.
Everyone's gay.
Welcome, everybody, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Fillmore, a.k.a. Jim Fix. And with me today is Raven, and we're welcoming everybody back to another breakdown, which we're kind of trying to play catch-up here, but it'll happen faster than you think. Welcome, Rave.
Hi, Fillmore. Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
Just to let everybody know, because I know there have been some, I wouldn't say comments, but there's in the live threads when people have been wondering about breakdowns going forward. We are not going to be focusing on the scat stuff anymore, or Wilding's bullshit escapades, because we think it just feeds their ego. And also a lot of people are just absolutely disgusted with this vomitous content. So the same way we're not going to talk about whack packers, let's say, too much. It depends on the circumstance. We're going to leave some of that out just to get ahead of the game and get caught up more and faster and closer to modern day, but also because some of you guys have spoken that you don't want you turn it off when it gets too vile, and we don't blame you. So we're going to include a little of it for representation, but that's it. We're not going to go the whole hog, because some of them, I mean, have been psychically damaging to us as well as some of you, I'm certain.
Right. And why would we want to feed Wiggy's ego? If he's listening and getting off on this once already on the show, why should we give him another chance to get off on it and, pissing us off? So fuck you, Wiggy. We're not doing it anymore.
Okay, so there's a couple clips from January 3rd that Raven found, and this was explain the purpose of playing these ones.
Okay, so I've been watching Beth's Instagram, and like today, for example, she had a litter of cats being born, and the videos were really up close and really gross of the cats, licking off the sack of the babies. Anyway, I noticed her voice wasn't in them, and normally you hear that whiny, third grade voice all over these videos. She can't help herself but commentate while she's making them. So I noticed that there was no sound. And one of the comments on the videos was staying quiet for Mama's good, or to help Mama, the cat. And so I looked, and I got to thinking that it really set off red flags back in January when he came back on air after his Christmas hiatus of 19 days, that he was complaining about the air conditioning not working in his basement. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, it's like 20 or 30 degrees right now in the Hamptons. Yeah. And I looked up the weather, and it was 78 to 84 that day in Palm Beach. So that was pretty much a dead giveaway that he's got a new air conditioning system that's not working, and he was sweating his balls off, and he kept complaining about how hot it was. Now, we know as an anorexic, he runs cold. So what the fuck is going on, right? Yeah. And I think when you hear these clips, you'll agree with me that he's been down in Florida with the cats and beef, looking, trying to make it look and sound like on the radio that he's up in New York and whatever bullshit, that he can't go outside because it's too cold, so he doesn't do his walks anymore, and he's just on the Peloton or whatever bullshit. He's not even on that, probably.
Supposedly. And one thing about the cats, when they do this switch from the Hamptons to Florida, do you think they bring cats with them, or do you think they have someone looking after them while they're gone?
I think they're crated on the private jet when they fly down.
Okay.
I think they have handlers that fly with them. And I think there are some cats left behind in the Hamptons bowling alley mansion that are taken care of by staff, and they post videos with probably her approval onto Instagram.
Okay. I was just wondering your take on that. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, please.
No problem. The other thing was that we read a couple months back that he was having $1 million or $2 million worth of work done to add like an outside entrance or some bullshit. I don't know. But my guess is that he had his studio revamped. He had his air conditioning revamped, or the whole house. It sounds like all the controls in the house are like on one wand or one tablet. And his stupid ass can't even figure out how to work it. And it's a full mess. And I'm sure he paid ridiculous amounts of money for this stuff. And I'm just, conjecturing here, but he's probably got friends down there in other mansions that are like, oh, we use this guy, you should use him too. So it's like, the air conditioning to the stars type of person who will come in, set it up, and then you hear him asking certain people for help.
Yes. With
his home stuff. Yeah. So these are names I've never heard before. I thought it was very interesting. And the clips aren't that long. They're like a minute and change each. But I think it's fair to say, because everybody's been asking, is he in Florida or is he in New York? And I said, I think he's in Florida. I'm looking for more proof. And this was something that came up in January, and I didn't push it enough. I wanted to do it tonight and kind of like get everybody assimilated to what we've been thinking, and then just go forward with, all the bullshit that we've heard.
Oh, okay, fair enough. First clip.
Unbelievable. I spent a fortune, and I put a system in this house that, to replace my old audio video system, and this one works.
You were getting a whole new system?
Oh, forget it. It's a fiasco. It's horrible. I'm sitting here now. I'm trying to see this little panel I have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn it on, and I can't, and I'm trying to lower the air conditioning. It's 100 degrees in here, and it doesn't work.
Okay, first off, I love the juxtaposition of this metal music and then this old fucker. looking at his technology like you're looking at a musket or something. For the other thing is, he's technologically just retarded anyway. We know that, but recently, completely. So in the clips I clipped for today's show, Jimmy Kimmel and him were talking about how Kimmel mentions, I actually go to Beth, and Beth asks Jimmy for help, like with in entertaining people, like what should we do in the house to make it easier for people to be here? And it almost sounded like Beth and him need guest tutors. I don't have practice entertaining people because no one's allowed here in the compound, in the Howard Hughes, in the whatever landmark hotel. And so, and he's saying like, well, these are things to make your life more convenient, and easier. I think number one is get a smaller fucking place. You don't need these big mansions except for tax write-offs. Don't you, when all this time hobnobbing with stars, don't you figure some of these things out yourself?
I don't think anyone is willing to be honest with them except for Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy has a way about him that's kind of, jokingly true, and, Beth and Wig kind of trust him because he knows all the famous people and he caters to them in his own home so much that he would be the one to be like, oh, well, I do this. This is fun. You could try this. Maybe, whatever, relax your dinner time, or just set up food for people, or have them schedule their own food if they don't want to eat at your time. Or I don't know.
Maybe those dispensers.
Weirdo.
Remember those coin dispensers where you put the quarter in and you turn the thing, and then this big plastic bubble comes out, and then whatever it is the toy, like those little vending machines. Imagine the same thing, but for like Lucky Charms in the house, for guests that are there. Like, it's not free. You got to actually put a quarter in for some. So let's continue with the clip.
And every minute I'm rebooting
is that a whole
all these.
Control system.
Yeah, and look, I can't get it to work.
Oh, jeez.
And I got no air. What the fuck is going on?
Who does this work for you? I have to find out.
I hired a whole new
never
company.
Hire them.
Make sure you don't. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Nothing works. Paid the guy a fortune.
Upper echelon, like top 1% problems. Wah, I can't get my aircon working.
Exactly.
After they get this fortune, do they leave the country?
I think so. But I'm going Amish. I'm going to be like...
Just go, okay, go ahead.
Well, so much to say. He's got the equivalent of like 9 houses in one.
Yeah.
Wherever you're talking about, Hamptons or Florida, he's got like 18,000 square feet. So if you take a 2,000 square foot house, divide it into 18, you got 9 houses. And he's trying to heat, and he's probably such a cheap miser that he wanted it so he could turn off the air to all the rooms that aren't being used and only give like Beth and him and maybe Consuela some air conditioning, because it's 84 down there. And that's, that's going to heat up the house during the day. It's just crazy to me that he paid probably 3 times what it really was worth. And the people can charge him that because he doesn't know any better. No. And then they give him a system that he can't work. And he lies that he says he had the work done back in the summer when he was in Florida. So he's trying to pretend, you'll get to that like he's in New York. I think he gets confused himself in his own lies. So let's just play the next clip and get into it.
And with me, everything should work because I'm a dangerous kind of guy. I mean, if I go on the air and announce your name, you're fucked.
Right.
Everyone will avoid you.
They don't care about that.
No.
No one gives a fuck. I don't think anybody really fears him getting on the air to his 50,000 remaining listeners or 50 listeners. I don't know. I may be overshooting it. No one's afraid of him trashing a company.
He seems to think he has this pull in the industry, or the ability to sway people in what they do and don't do or use. And it's totally so farcical. And this one, this clip goes into it, like him and Robin start like joking about Sirius and satellite radio. So
I'll play a little more of this.
Let's listen.
They seem not to care because they keep doing this to you.
Yeah, I mean, no one seems to care anymore. All my power is gone.
They say he's working in a basement. Who cares?
People used to be afraid of me.
Yeah.
People were afraid if they fucked up with me, that was it. It's all over. But now nobody's afraid.
Yeah,
I'm
your setup. They're like, oh, he's trapped in a basement.
No, it's like, I'm gonna announce your name on the air. Go ahead.
I'm gonna announce your name on the air. Okay. Guys, this is the guy who's advertising, and I went on this website called howardsternradionetwork.com, and it has a bunch of live reads of his that they've isolated. One of them's literally called, this is a sponsor, Dive Bar Shirt Club. Phone soap.
Yes.
Jobber.
I remember phone soap.
Okay, so NordVPN is the only one I really knew of. Which I use actually myself, but not because of Howard, that's for certain. And like, what happened to the Heineken ads? What happened to the big, motherfucker ad campaigns on the show? They all left. But basically, when he went to Sirius, they all stopped.
Well, now we've got, as of late in the past couple months, we've had ads for sex toys. Like Pink Cherry is a sponsor, still with the ZipRecruiter, still with I Hate Steven Singer. And Grubhub. Now, this is the man who yells at people for eating shitty food, but now he wants it delivered to their door. And now he wants people interacting with other people to get Grubhub. It makes zero sense to me. And that was also something I think Bubba the Love Sponge was delivering for a while, was Grubhub. So I wonder if there was a connection there. I'm not sure. But either way, it just seems so out of place on his show for all the shit that he preaches about vaccines and quarantining and isolating and staying home and junk food. Like none of it makes any sense. That's the ads that we've been getting.
Yep, completely incongruous.
Cares? You're on satellite.
What good could that do?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's 100 degrees in here. Fuck this. This has got to be addressed.
There's no other way to override the system. There's nothing else you can do.
Hold on. Hey, Matt or Jeff, are you guys on here? They'll know how to do it.
His skull must be fucking scorching with that wig on. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Like the sweat pouring down when it gets hot, and what that wig must look like just a wet mop.
Any of you guys?
Oh my God, the glue.
Yeah.
I don't think they're here today. Figures.
They're not here, Howard. We're reaching out to Russell to get it fixed.
Yeah, tell him it's the big screen. It's not a wand. It's a regular...
He's dealing with this on the air. How pathetic. Okay, so there's those. And then this.
That's our Magoo.
Yeah, that is. There's this bonus clip, which I called Mattressum. I have no idea what the fucking product is, and I guess Raven didn't either because the pronunciation was so fucked up. Unless he's accurate and he did it right, and we are the idiots. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically another cheesy mattress delivery place for your beds. Yeah, remember there was the one that folded up? What was that one? I can't even remember. But Robin claimed to have like 9 of them in her house or some bullshit.
Right.
And
maybe that's the only thing she fits on.
Like, it makes sense though that he would advertise mattresses because his show will put you to sleep.
Totally. So here's the clip, and it's really short, guys.
You've heard this. Bad sleep. A mattress firm wants you to know
mattress firm. What the fuck?
Wow.
Let me play it again because it's a bit of a
those dentures glued in.
Yeah.
Sleep. A mattress firm wants you to know.
Mattress firm. Oh my Lord, that's awful.
Mattress. Mattress.
So
Mattress.
that's the more recent clips we're going to play. We're going to play with time, guys, and get a little time warping here. But bear with us because what's happened is we're going to take some more recent stuff like the Mick Jagger interview and things like that, and obviously the Saget stuff. So we're going to play with time going into the Patreon episodes, which and to plug that as well. Recently, Bob and I just recorded the Artie asking Howard for time off for Beer League, and that's a two-parter that's going to be on Patreon, and it's a great uncomfortable listen but really amazing bit of recording. So we would advise all of you to check out Patreon absolutely for the cost of a fucking caramel macchiato a month is really great value. At any rate, we're going to the 14th of September, and I love this day because there's a lot of shit. And the first clip was about Megan Fox, and he was talking about how her ass looked weird because it's so naked. What the fuck does that mean to a straight man? She's still at 35, a stunning woman. Oh my God. Even though I don't like what she's kind of done plastic surgery wise, because here's the picture I'm showing you. Let's see. Where's the big pic? It's a very sheen
dress. I've seen this. It was at an award show at the VMAs.
Right. So I'll hopefully put the screen cap up for you guys.
Right. She's wearing a thong and some kind of like bandeau top that pushes her boobs up, and it's like a nude color, so it matches her skin a bit.
Yes.
And then she's got, some stilettos or some heels on. But the hair is fake. The lips are fake.
Yep.
The cheekbones are probably fake, I'm guessing. And the nails, the typical stuff that you see. But yeah, she's still stunning. She is stunning. I don't want to take away too much from her. And in that business, that's what you have to do.
Yes, absolutely. And so he was talking about her butt, and you'll have to hear it for yourself. But any red-blooded human being, any red-blooded man, there, even women, there should be women out there saying I'd fuck her. You know what I mean? And she doesn't look as good as she did when she was 29 doing Transformers or whatever, or 29, 25, let's say. But she still looks pretty smoking. So listen to this clip.
She was almost naked. And even she's got a perfect body by anyone's standards, but she's so naked and that string going up her asshole that even like her ass looks weird, because it's just weird when you're wearing high heels and you're walking around naked. You know what I mean? It's like when you, all you can think about is Jesus Christ. It's like
yeah, you spent all that time getting dressed and then you forgot to put on clothes.
Yeah, right. It's weird.
Okay, so I'm guessing that Wiggy has never walked around in heels. He might dress in women's clothing, but he's not wearing heels, because anybody who knows anything about heels and butts, they make your butt look better. Yeah. The higher the heel, the better the butt. Yeah. And Megan Fox, there's nothing weird about her except she is exquisite.
Yeah.
She is sculpted and gorgeous. And like you said, even women have to be like amazed and kind of like have at least a crush on her or something. Yeah. But maybe not all. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. I definitely do. I think she's gorgeous.
Well, I mean, she had, and this is a woman who had 3 kids with bag. That fucking idiot.
Oh, right.
So, and the other thing is, she actually looks a lot like when Marilyn Manson took Rose McGowan to the VMAs about, 20 years ago. And she had a similar look. And Rose McGowan at that point was really, really like, even her, like as pale as she was short but statuesque and really fucking stacked, and she pulled it off. She pulled off nudity, and this was not quite that extreme, but either way, it's just him being disgusted by female nudity or jealousy that he doesn't look like her.
Yeah.
So absolutely. the next clip is number 2. Sorry guys, some Pelican warbles coming your way.
It didn't work out. This song's called We Tried, but she still died.
And it's about Lady Diana and when she died and the paparazzi. It was a discussion based on that. So he starts singing about it and some completely unfunny shit.
We tried, but she still died. Everyone. I gave Diana mouth to mouth for over 15 minutes. People thought I was just coming on to her, but I was trying to save her life.
Guys, again, I apologize, but you can, if you tuned out, I don't blame you.
And they're still taking pictures.
We We better check her tits. I can't believe it. Where's her head? Where's her head?
First of all, nonsensical. She didn't get decapitated. She died mostly. It was internal injuries she died of, first of all. Second of all, it's okay. It's tasteless, but it's forget that it's tasteless. It's just not funny. And he convinces himself this is content. I just don't get it. Who could still be listening to this and not turning it off as a fan?
Now, was this around the time that Kristen Stewart came in and was promoting the Lady Diana movie? Because that's really bad taste and really bad compression on the voice.
Well, yeah. I think it's 6 1/2 of the other. I believe that possibly she was a guest around that time. I don't know if that's what inspired it. I'd have to look back at that. But I just thought that clip was a perfect example of how shitty the show is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next clip is called 79 Confuses 86 with 69. And this is about the Mets 86 World Series win.
Hey, before Jimmy comes on, Jimmy Kimmel is going to join us. Always happy to have Jimmy. I don't even know. Oh, I know what he's promoting.
Kimmel.
Jimmy was involved somehow in a documentary for... They did one on the New York Mets, the 69 Mets, you know.
Oh, yes.
86. Yeah. I mean,
it's 86. The 86 Mets. The time
who am I thinking of? 69.
We were there,
I'm thinking about the Ronnie story.
Oh, my Lord.
Ronnie. That's it. 69. 86 Mets.
Yeah, that's it.
So, okay, there you go. This next clip is called,
Fuckhead.
and this is not a mistake, it's called Convoluted Premise. And he's trying to say premise, but he fucks it up. So listen carefully. I might have to play this one twice.
I was going to try and get this in, a little bit of a comedy we worked very hard on. Almost too hard. I hope it's worth it. We took the Mitch McConnell audiobook. Talk about a convoluted premise.
Let me try again.
I was going to try and audiobook. Talk about a convoluted premise.
Premise. What's going on with his mouth? Is he just kind of getting that? He's had that problem since the new caps, but it's only gotten worse. So it can't just be that.
It's almost like his gums are failing him, or his lips are fighting with the teeth, and then like they loosen or they shift mid-sentence.
Yeah.
Something is. It's probably all those damn toothpicks he's using. They're probably loosening up that shit. And he's like fucking himself because he can't, I love when he can't talk right or he says words wrong on, that are total 79 words. I love these.
That's right. We need those for episode 179. So let's not lose sight of those. Number 5, Dead Air Tzvi strikes again.
Are you following
what
this?
he did on his summer vacation.
Yeah, he's just recapping everything. All the things that happened while we were away this summer.
Okay.
Drink.
Here's Mitch McConnell with his audio. Here he talks about that while we were away, billionaires went up into space. This is a lot of work, so you better... You have no idea how difficult it is to cut up an audiobook.
Oh, my fucking Lord. Like that. Those you could drive a truck through those spaces. I know I've said that before,
it's
but
so sad. Well, here's something fun for like anybody who watches Howard Stern videos on YouTube. Take a look at his shifty eyes while he's reading or talking to somebody. The crazy eyes are ping-ponging back and forth. And then he's either got a script on the table with highlights all throughout it, or he's trying to not look at or not let us know he's looking at a monitor while he's reading off stuff. It's really kind of fun. I was looking for a perfect clip. I just didn't have time, and I didn't find the clip I wanted this week. But I've noticed more and more that if you watch him in his home studio, that it is really odd the way he like talks and kind of juxtaposes his head. And then the camera people must have different setups. So they have to give the angle that doesn't show his crazy eyes or show him looking down at a script or up at a monitor to read, whatever he's trying to get out of his mouth.
Well, that's it. And I think a lot of times those shots where the microphone is completely covering his eyes is for that purpose. Especially with a guest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and it's, yes, okay, because he thinks he's ugly, and he is, but it's a two-pronged reason.
And get sentences out of it.
Drink.
Okay?
Wow.
So you will laugh.
Fuck.
Lest anyone think this doesn't require a lot of work, it does. So we sacrificed a lot of man hours.
It takes almost as many people to get a rocket ship to go into space.
Honestly,
to do this.
And this is just an extra thing. And before you say something here, when they're at home each, and she's got a bit of an echo going on. You can hear there's a like an echo chamber sound. There's a sound, a distinct sound of Robin that's completely different from his. And okay, their mic settings are different and stuff, but that lack of like the no drops, no nothing. It's just almost impossible for them, the three of them, to do a show together and make it sound like they're together, as opposed to regular, normal podcasters. Because, well, post-production for one thing, but if they're going to go live, I think Howard should have the drops. He should be operating the drops, not Fred, if he wants them. I just don't think he has the dexterity, the capability, the memory, the knowledge, the brain power to do it. But it would sound a lot more, I guess, flowing.
Right. And he probably does have that capability, but I don't think he's able to use it because he can't spin that many plates at one time.
No way.
He can't saber dance himself to talk and read and play clips or drops. And, you know, Fred is hit or miss on stuff. Like there's times where I'm like thinking of things and I'm like, God, he should be playing this or that. No, we get some other stupid, you know, innocuous clip that's just not even worth it.
Right. So instead of let's say the funniness of Ed McMahon audiobook, I love that. I used to love when they would play that for guests, and the guests loved it as well. They were much better. They took a Mitch McConnell audiobook, and it's just really, really tired, I guess, at this point. So here you go, guys.
Yeah.
All right, but let Mitch McConnell audiobook tell you about what happened this summer. Okay, here he is.
Hello. This is Mitch McConnell audiobook with a summer wrap-up. Jeff Bezos went to space in a rocket that looked like a big, stiff cock that was fucking the atmosphere. Billionaire Richard Branson also went to space. It's a golden age for rich white guys who are tired of money. And
the other thing is, the audio sounds so choppy. That's another reason why it's not so funny. But the Ed McMahon's ones were generally a lot shorter. It would be like, I once took a giant dump on Lonnie Anderson's tits. You know, like,
yeah.
These ones you got to stick with them, and there's not really much of a payoff.
Pussy.
And then Mitch had thoughts on Bill Cosby. I'd like to play for you too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we haven't spent much time
He was aware of
talking
that.
Yes, he was.
Comedian Bill Cosby is a free man. He's going to have a hard time drugging women now because he looks like somebody who got skull fucked in one of his eyes and then someone shot cement in the other one.
Christ. So there's that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they have Wilding, who does the Mitch McConnell voice a lot on shows for phony phone calls, for bits, for the door knocking that we hate so much. And it's kind of like a reoccurring character because they don't have the whack pack like they used to. They don't have Shuley doing 1,000 voices. They don't have any other staff, so, you know, that to bounce off of, unless they're bashing Ronnie or Gary or, you know, trying to, I don't know, hook up High Pitch Eric with Debbie the Cum Lady. And it's just atrocious. It is. By having the Mitch McConnell stuff, it keeps Mitch McConnell on the show in a weird way. And then it makes it easier for him to knock on the door and come in and say some dumb shit to whatever else is being said. It's like, it's just, it's lame. It's sad. And this is just painful. Ugh.
Yeah, and just as a rejoinder, guys, we got a hold of the Alex Trebek audiobook, and this is what that's. This is a section from that.
Howard, that sounds pretty fucking dumb.
Oh, what was that, Alex? Sorry, what was? Let me get you again.
Hey, Sirius XM, suck my dick.
So, I mean, and just, you know, because poor Betty White passed away, and almost everybody I know that felt really bad about that. But, you know, we managed to get in touch with her and ask her what she felt.
This is Betty White, and you were listening to Quite Frankly. a Howard Stern podcast.
Rest in peace, Betty.
Love you, Betty.
Yeah, exactly.
Best.
So the next one is called "Your Subscription Dollars Are Hard at Work," folks.
And in the beginning, people didn't back Jimmy.
No, Jimmy had a rough time at the beginning.
That's right. But I was there for him.
And this is also revisionist bullshit. This is the guy who claimed Jimmy was stealing bits from him, not the guy that was behind him. He was a Letterman guy. He's only with Kimmel now because he's the last one left, aside from Colbert, who he never gave a fuck about to begin with. So any port in a storm where Howard's concerned, where he needs to get on the air.
He's tried with Fallon, but Fallon never panned out. Like, Fallon would come to his house and he'd have him do impressions, but I think Fallon saw right through him. Like, yo, this guy is just, he's using me and I'm never going to, get anything out from him. He's just taking from me and using me to starfuck, so fuck him.
Do you think that's what it is, or do you think it was a ratings thing, like Jimmy actually was influenced by the numbers that he was in, or do you think it was your first thought? Because I noticed that's a little odd that he doesn't go on the Tonight Show really hardly at all comparatively, with Kimmel and, when Ellen was on, of course, but that's daytime. So it's a little different thing. But do you think it's what you think, or do you think it could be a ratings thing?
Well, I've got another choice. I think Jimmy is, let's just say, interested in a lot of young ladies and spends his time pursuing that hobby rather than old, wrinkled, 68-year-old wig-wearing, malnourished goblins. Goblins, yes.
Sure. Okay. That's as good a theory as anything I can think of. But either way, he's got to suck Jimmy Kimmel's ass so bad, to the point where, again, a clip we're going to play. Beth says we don't have many friends. You have to keep this relationship because we have no friends really. And it's the saddest commentary you could ever make because he doesn't have a joke writer for his email.
Yeah. No. He needs an email tutor to be funny. Oh, that scares the shit out of him, trying to be witty on an email. Forget it.
It's too much work. Guys, we're going into September 15th, a lot of short clips, and we'll get through all of them. The first one is called, and I don't know why it went like this, but either way, hold on, let's see what we got here. Number 1, Calgon and Jim Meyer, Take Me Away.
Okay. When my alarm went off this morning, I was like, that's it, I'm retiring. I'm done. The guy who used to run this joint, Sirius XM Jim.
This is the guy you tune into in the morning to give a little spring in your step.
No, forget it.
I remember he came to me.
Let's remember who we're talking about.
Yeah. I said, really? Because he's the same age as me. And he was like, I'm going to retire. And I was like, yeah, well, what about me? He goes, well,
why are you telling me I have to stay?
Right. Why do I have to stay and you get to retire? And he was,
fuck's sake. Rhetorical question.
It's all about him, Ed.
Yeah. What about me? Well, you don't want to retire. You can't retire. Maybe even but let's put it to you this way. If Sirius said, we're going to part company, we have your archives, we don't watch anymore, your content's shit, and you're actually costing us listeners now and subscribers, what do you think he would do?
Oh, shit his pants. He would have a fucking conniption, to quote my grandmother. His brain would not function. He'd have to call Don Buchwald and be like, Don, you got to fix this. I need to be on the air.
Right.
I need to be relevant, which is so ridiculous just saying that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can only wish that would happen. That would be like Christmas times a million for me if they said that to him. Are you kidding?
More specifically, what would Beth do if he got shit canned?
Oh, well, after hitting the Adderall, the wine, and the Lucky Charms, it would be, her shitting on the wall just like a cat, pretty much. Fuck. I don't know. She probably claimed to go gay with like Allie Wentworth or some bullshit.
By the way, I recently saw Allie Wentworth with Mariska Hargitay. Or I heard her. My wife was watching it on some show, and she was the most obnoxious person ever. And I loved her show Headcase on Stars. I think that's the network it was on. I actually thought it was a lot of fun. But listening to her bullshit for any talk show appearance, she's insufferable, Allie Wentworth. And he worships her because Wiggy thinks he'd like to look like Allie Wentworth if he decides to go trans finally. And she's what he would look like or would want to be like, outgoing, that kind of thing, boisterous and seemingly funny.
Oh, he's just using her to get to George Stephanopoulos, her husband.
Big time. Yeah.
That's his twink du jour. So,
fuck.
Have what you want with that.
He wants to lick his galactoburico. Let's continue, guys.
Like, you know what? People need you. They don't need me. And I went, yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, not that they don't need you, but I hear you. You know, we got a lot of fans, and it would be weird to leave.
We got a lot of fans.
But I woke up. My alarm woke me up. And
weird.
I'm bummed out. You clipped all these, by the way.
Wait, it's the beginning of the show, and he's so deflated at the beginning of the show. I just love that. I know we're in for a good day when I hear that deflated voice of, I'm here, guys.
Imagine
I had a bad night's sleep, and
imagine a sports analogy. Okay, the Flyers are playing, I don't know, the Capitals in Philly, and right at the national anthem, the Flyers just drop their sticks and walk off. That's the equivalent. Skate off, rather.
Well, be honest, the way they're playing right now, they should walk off the ice. They got their first win tonight in like 13 games.
I know.
Don't get me started on the Flyers, please. I cannot.
Oh man,
Bob and I talk about him because he likes to.
Yeah, they look so.
People don't want to hear about it.
I know they look so promising though. Initially, I thought this was going to be their season, but I guess not. Number 2, Ray didn't put sunscreen on my arse.
You know, because my mom, she used to take me to Jones Beach and Point Lookout here on Long Island when I was a kid. I don't remember putting any suntan lotion on.
Nobody put on sunscreen back then.
I was like a fucking lobster. Nobody gave a shit about me.
This is why. Number 3. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
Well, just remember this. We're talking about the early 60s.
Yeah.
I know sunscreen was a thing, but it wasn't that popular. It's not like nowadays.
God, no.
It was for rich people, and they weren't that rich. But for him to complain about that shit, like, fucking shut the fuck up.
I don't think I put suntan lotion on until I was 17. I didn't even know. Like, just, you mean peeling your skin isn't natural after getting burnt?
Getting burnt was like a sign of pride.
Yeah.
And, it was like, look how much sun I got. I'm super cool.
Totally.
The 80s was a whole different thing. I was putting bleach and sun in my hair back then. Come on.
Wow.
Move on.
Number 3, tanning means low IQ except for Beefus.
What the heck is wrong with you?
Don't they say you have 102 IQ and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about? You sound like an idiot.
Sometimes.
What's with your tan, dude? I'm talking about sunscreen. What's going on? Are you bronzing? What the hell? You're so dark.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Howard. When I meditate, I meditate outdoors. So.
Yeah, well, dude, put some sunscreen on. You look ridiculous.
I did have melanoma.
Okay. Was it before or after you had a pneumonia? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just be aware that Wiggy's face has never been rosier and tanner than since he spent 3 months in the summer in Florida, and now he's spending another 3 months there. That's 6 months in Florida. Do you think he's going for a Florida tax write-off?
Oh, that's exactly why.
If you spend 6 months and a day in Florida living there, you can claim that as your home. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And he's super tan. He is not pale by any means. So for him to give shit to these other people on staff and them not to fight back, fuck him.
Oh, yeah. Number 4, glitch. We always need at least one of them.
Go, you know what it is? I look better with a tan. And you know what? Look at these people. They never look better with a tan.
No, they look weird.
Yeah, like Sal, you don't look you look odd. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. I guess it's...
Yeah.
I love those. These days you have to actually work.
Glitch of the day.
Yeah, you have to work to get those. Number 5, Wiggy knew a guy who...
Eyes play tricks on us. We go, man, I look so good with my tan. And they never look good.
Right.
There was a dude I knew. This guy loved to fucking tan. I mean, so tan. It was like as dark as Tan Mom, you know?
Right.
And it was, I mean, people just walk around talking about this guy. He was such a goofball.
And he thought he looked great.
He did. Look at you.
Stay away from the Hawaiian tropic, guys. Number 6, Robin has a friend who...
A hug today.
That's right.
Yeah,
well, drink.
The other guy called about the pennies because I have a friend who, she didn't like her mother when she was alive. But now her mother leaves pennies for her.
How generous. What am I going to do with that?
My God.
Go ahead.
Don't you immediately dismiss anything he or she says as soon as they say, I have a friend too?
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, oh, here we go. Fantasy land.
Right. If you collected all of his friends, they could overthrow any sovereign country. It'd be like army ants going into the Ukraine. Number 7, only Wiggy could make a eulogy about himself, star fucking.
So let me say a couple of words about Norm, for God's sake.
And guys, yes, of course, this is old news. We covered it, and I think we did an amazing job. I'll pat myself on the back. It's one of my favorite episodes because it featured all really good Norm clips. And please check it out before. If you have to stick to one episode of QF, even though we have so many nice ones and really, really amazing ones, I think that's one of the first you should go to just to get a flavor of Norm. First of all, in clips you may not have heard before, and also just, a way to do reverence without making it about yourself.
So I'll tell you what happened for me. I was taking a walk with my wife yesterday after the show, and David Spade texted me. He said, "Oh, terrible about Norm." I didn't know what he was talking. I assumed he was talking about, Norm Macdonald, because those guys work together on Saturday Night Live and they're close. So I go, what happened with Norm? I didn't get a text back right away. So
okay, next part.
Called him, and he told me that Norm had died. And I was like, oh, God, it just seemed so weird. Now, I didn't know Norm personally. I mean, I never hung with Norm. I never have spoken to him privately on the phone or anything like that. But I did feel a closeness to him because he'd been on the show so many times. Couple of times over the years, you remember when Norm was on Saturday Night Live, he used to do this Bob Dole impression.
Yeah, go ahead.
You felt comfortable to Norm because of Artie, you fuckhead. Artie was the one who came in with him, and Norm practically handed him on a plate to you. But God forbid, you get to know the guy anymore beyond that. You just took Artie, you took his scraps, basically. Mm-hmm. And then that was it. He's had him on many times, but like when Norm took it up with Wiggy that he was encouraging Artie's addiction, mm-hmm. Norm was pretty much written off at that point. That was it. No more for him.
Well, he did make appearances after that, but not nearly as prolific with the visits as he had been before then. But either way, he had gone to a show for one of Norm's shows and was backstage. So if you're not close to the guy, you don't get backstage and you don't mingle with him and stuff like that. So to say you don't know him or you don't know of him or whatever, and the connection with Sam Simon and Norm and whoever else, I mean, Christ's sake, and then Saget,
right,
with Stamos and the connection of Norm. I mean, it's 6 degrees of Norm separation, and in this case, and he was such a big fan of Howard, and up until the very end, I believe, and so it's just the shittiest of eulogies. Not the shittiest one he's done, but pretty bad.
Also, notice in the beginning of this, David Spade had to tell him about Norm.
Yeah.
Just like Pat Monahan had to tell him about Bob Saget. He always has to starfuck with a name drop.
Mm-hmm.
And he even begged for celebrities pretty much in our last show to, it was probably in the Bob Saget one that's on Patreon for you guys who haven't heard it yet.
Yep, but it's on the app as well.
He was begging for celebrities to contact him and let him know when celebrities die, because he'd rather find out from a celebrity. And Robin even called him on it, and he still said, like, yeah, I want celebrities to tell me. Like, he can't get a fucking Google alert on his own. He needs someone famous to call him so he can name drop on the air. That's such bullshit. You
can't just go into the BBC.com app and like the BBC app or the Reuters app and find this out yourself, you fucking idiot. Well, if you don't care about news, I guess you wouldn't. So number 8 is called Weirdness Times 4.
I always felt with Norm. And I was asking my wife about this. I remember the only night that I had with Norm was he was performing stand-up somewhere. I don't even. Okay,
now hold on. I'm gonna do an ooh. I'm gonna do this sound every time we have weird.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
Remember where, because I have no memory. But I was there, I said to my wife, I think Norm was appearing with Dave Chappelle. I think I went to see the both of them. But I don't even know if that's right. But I remember I went to see Norm, and it was weird because I wasn't even aware that Norm was a stand-up at that point. It was many years ago. And
okay, we'll go into it, guys, a little more.
He had a killer. Nice. He was funny as hell on stage. And it was weird, too, because I'd never seen Norm outside of the radio studio. And there he was being professional, like he was, getting ready to go on stage. And it was weird because
him backstage.
Yeah. This club was so small. From what I remember, there was almost not a backstage. It was like Norm was just standing on the side waiting to go on. It's stand-up comedy so
get ready.
Weird. Like some of these clubs are just so dinky that there's nowhere to like just walk out with some dignity and come out from backstage, But
what a fucking idiot. He did stand up in the interim between NBC and K-Rock when he got shit canned. He should know exactly what that's like, but oh well. 1986. Let's continue with the next clip. Robin's cunty baby gorilla mention.
Forget Norm was the guy, but Artie to the show.
I remember that completely.
Which I thought was very generous of Norm.
At the time.
Norm, Well, Norm was really...
Okay, now the people were asking why this was such a big deal. Number one, he mentions Artie. Artie's been scrubbed from the show to the point where he's not even in older clips that they put on their fucking app on the YouTube channel. So don't think that's not a big deal at all. Second of all, the cuntiness was, at the time, it was a great thing. And she's basically saying, but it ended badly. So she has to shit on Artie's departure, not talk about what good he was for the show and how good he was for the show.
Right. Basically, it was her saying, well, he was a fuck up and he cost us. Like, it was bad on their part because of him. Like, for the time. What the fuck? I mean, come on. Does she not recognize anything? And I think she's only saying this because she wants to kiss Wiggy's ass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the only reason. She has no opinion of her own. She knows Artie came to her bedside after her cancer operation. She loves Artie deep down, but she had to say this. And that's how broken she is as a person, how compartmentalized she can be with her MPD. She will say one thing to Howard and then she'll go and turn it. And if Artie ever confronted her, called her, or emailed her that she would respond to, she'd be like, oh, no, I was just saying that because that's what I thought Howard wanted me to say.
Oh, yeah.
Or wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So two-faced.
She's spineless. She's just as spineless as Howard is. And I mean, you want an example? When Stuttering John left for the Tonight Show, and he explained, she told him, you got to do what you got to do, and Howard's not treating people right, and and I believe John on this aspect because his story has never changed. And it sounds like Robin, but then on the last day for her to go and talk shit about him, and how can you leave this show and this cutting edge show, and you're going with the competition or whatever. It's not competition, first of all. And he was pissed because she should have kept her mouth shut. That would have been the mensch friend thing to do, but she couldn't because she knew he was first of all going to mention that she had talked with him about it, and Howard didn't know anything about it. So he would have been pissed at her for not putting him in the know about it when she knew.
Also, she had that famous kiss with him. So they had some degree of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Something. They went out to lunch. They went out to dinner. They did stuff together.
Yep.
And then for her to turn on him the way she did when he cut ties, it was all because of Howard. Mm-hmm. It was all to make him happy. Whatever she did because she follows the money.
Yep.
She doesn't follow loyalty. She doesn't follow human emotions. That's her MPD talking.
Yep.
And it's just sad,
It is actually.
Artie and Stuttering John were beloved on the show for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they left, the show kind of just fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
In so many ways, whether it was Stuttering John or him, or some people say Jackie, some people say Billy West, but it's just, there's a common theme here that we can't ignore and we have to point out. And then when we hear hypocrisies like this of her talking badly, even if it's just a slight cunty remark of, well, for that time, like, fuck off, woman.
Completely unnecessary.
I'm sorry. I've tried to defend you. Robin, damn it, you have given me nothing to defend about you.
Yeah.
I want to have sympathy for you in your cancer. I want to have sympathy for you in your weight gain. I want to have sympathy for you as a woman on a show surrounded by men who hate women and talk so badly about them. I'm talking to you, Fred, and Howard, and of course everybody else. But she's given me nothing to defend her on. So anybody out there who thinks that we're misogynist, we're not. I'm a woman. I want to defend women when they deserve it. Tune in to the Bagel Saga marathon of Robin's 15 Foundation coming up soon, because there's just nothing to defend about these people.
My two-thirds of the principal co-hosts on this show are women, so I must have some pimp hand, or I don't know what it is. If this is such a misogynist show. This next clip we're going to play is actually Wiggy's on the fly ass fucking non-joke.
I think if I ever die, which I won't, I'm not allowed to, the Iron Sheik would say, I will fuck you in the ass and make a man out of you and humble you. Yes, Tom. Tom wants to say,
what the fuck? What does that have to do with anything? It always goes back to gay.
I guess it's got to be the ass fuck joke. I don't know.
Totally. So the next clip, guys, is Kermit's Bang-A-Clock, Darth Kermit's Bang-A-Clock song, which is excruciating in theory as it is in reality. So you just listen for yourself.
Yeah, well, I collaborated with Donnie. Donnie went in the studio, made it good. This was my version, by the way. It's like, it's okay.
Sweet love, it's been a day or two since I've been inside of you. We don't say fuck, we don't say screw, it's bang-a-clock tonight. When making love just sounds too clean.
Fuck, ladies, are you dripping yet?
No. Not even close.
Okay.
Donnie V, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, Donnie V. You are not doing us a service.
Exactly. So he does a cover of this, and this is what the cover sounds like. And of course, Cover Lover can never have enough covers.
Yeah. So thank you, Donnie. Here's a cover of my song Bang-A-Clock.
am I alone in thinking, was there anybody in 2022 that didn't think, weren't they dead? Like, no, you're thinking of Great White,
Yeah.
burned to death almost. And so this is, we're all of a sudden back in 1988, guys.
Sweet love, it's been a day or two since I've been inside of you.
Oh, fuck it. I'd rather go back to my fucking Heartbreak Station or Long Cold Winter album or Tesla albums before I go back to this shit. So let's go with number 13 and try to tie this one up into a nice little bow. Nappy time.
You know, I mean, I have important things to do this afternoon. Like, for example, I have to take a nap.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! I napped yesterday. I napped for like an hour and a half. Beth called the mortician. She thought I passed.
Hoped.
They had to come and put a mirror under your nose. To
Wishes.
I love to nap.
All those years of having to hear,
God.
I have meetings after work. I have work to do. And you know, he was just all like fetal position on his sofa in wherever his fucking office. Go ahead.
We just need him to take the forever dirt nap. That's all I can say.
Oh, big time. There's a couple more clips, but there's one more clip, but we're not going to play it. It's just about how he has endless amount of TV time, and we're going to leave it at that because this is already a pretty long episode. Guys, we hope you've enjoyed it. We love you guys. These are going to come out in more faster succession because we have a lot to catch up on. But thankfully, because of Patreon, we're putting some of that content there that we know is going to get blocked on YouTube. So if you want extra stuff, we're going to promo it on the regular shows and on the Facebook page, of course, and eventually I'm going to have a master list of episodes on Patreon that I'll put into a pin on Facebook. So if anybody wants to know what's on there, again, it'll be there. As for the regular YouTube channel, loads of playlists now. Everything's going in a playlist of its own. 15 Foundation, the NPD stuff, the breakdowns are all in their own separate playlists. So just check a little further into the channel and you'll see them there. So any closing words, my dear?
Just thanks to all the great people who've been helping me out in the morning. Love you guys. You know who you are. I appreciate it so much. You've been there for me when I have to drive, when I have to take phone calls, and I won't forget it. Thank you so much. Otherwise, thanks, Fillmore, for all you do. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time.
And a special shout out to our ex-law enforcement, one of our ex-law enforcement fans, Terry Lambert, new member, and could not be more gracious and in his praise and lavish in his praise. So welcome aboard, Terry. And Sarah Washington, a big hug for you, my dear. We love you guys. Take care.
I want children.
Oh, no. Can you stop this?
I'm going to poke a hole in all your rubbers tonight.
Oh, you fuck.
I want to have the Stern Empire.
Can't we stop talking about this?
Hey, this is Grandma Stern. Hey, I want another grandson.
Grandma Stern, how are you? I know you got hit by a car and died.
Are you talking from heaven?
Are you talking to me from heaven?
Oh, Miss Sugar, it sucks up here.